Hello and welcome to mine that talks about an Age of Empires 2, the Forgotten Empires technology. This is about the Huns and their new unique technology they can get. So, a bit of history with the Goths. I believe I explained it in the actual unique technology videos that I did last time, a while back, for the Goths with their anarchy and profusion. But the idea with the Goths was that they were very much sort of slightly nomadic civilization, and they would go around the place, and they could easily get soldiers, as in the Huskars, from the villages that they had. So instead of having properly trained military professional and then the general civilians as two separate people, what would happen is the civilians would then quickly put on some armour and fight in the battle. And this made the Goths very annoying for any enemies, because they would just suddenly have a large army. And the same actually happened for the Huns. The Huns would they were quite nomadic creatures, people as well, and so they would go around the place and they would do a very similar thing to the Goths. They are roughly in the same area in Europe. But so the idea with the unit technology for the Huns in the Castle Age, Marauders, is that you can create Tarkans at stables, and it costs 500 food, 200 gold. So, like with Anarchy for the Goths, this is also quite useful. It doesn't cost that much at all, really. So I can get Marauders. You can see I can't get Tarkans there, so Marauders, and there is a Tarkan. It costs the same amount as it does in a castle, but you can just create it a bit easier. And that can be very useful, because as I said with the Goths one, you, instead of having to create 650 stone in order to get a castle, you can just build a stable for which 175 wood. And of course when you go to the Imperial Age, you can still do the same, upgrade to Elite Tarkan, and you get an Elite Tarkan coming out. And they have a pretty hefty amount of hit points. So that's quite useful. It's very historically relevant, I suppose. But then also the Imperial Age technology for the Huns, atheism, is still the same. You have an extra 100 years for relic and wonder games, and for the enemies, and spies, treason technology costs 50% less. And for the same matter as well, 500 food, 500 gold. So that's quite a nice one to have. Very simple, very, as I said, historically relevant. So thank you very much for watching. I shall see you in the next part, which I think will be for the Incas, I think. Yep.